Hello everyone, I'm Havoc and this is Satisfactory Update 4. Oh, well, hello there, giant flying moth creature-ish thing. We are back yet again, and I have let this run for just a bit, did a few little small tasks, such as making sure we've got resources ready and available so we can make some progress here. Now, I haven't really built anything extra, but I did gather a lot of leaves and turn them into biomass. I've got plenty, and we are going to work towards some advancements here. So if we come in here, we can do a lot of these just right out the bat. Base building gives us foundations to build on, the lookout tower, some walls. Absolutely going to go for that. And now we have this right here.
Milestone reached. You have unlocked several structures aimed to provide the first needed to build basic factory infrastructure and improved overview. Building these will provide a grid for more advanced organizing and sectioning of your factory.
And away it goes into space. Alright, nice. So that will be back, which kind of slows us down on being able to just knock them out because you have to wait for it to come back. You don't have to wait on resources. But what we're going to do is unlocking the conveyor merger splitters, lifts, and productivity display next. And then probably after that, get field research, gives us the MAM, more inventory slots. Actually, we may just go ahead and go straight to obstacle clearing and make the chainsaw and solid biofuel. This one also gives us a little bit of extra inventory slots. That's what we're going to do. We have to wait, like I said, till that little pod comes back down. You'll see it returns in 46 seconds, so it's not that long. And it will be back. And then the reason I want to get the chainsaw really is to start clearing a lot of these trees out and to start making it neater, cleaner for when we start building. Trying to think of the best way to say it. Yeah, it's already on its way back in. That sound is it just crashing back into orbit. It looks like it. Ooh, looks like it is just gonna smash right into us on its re-entry there, right up to the end. In the last few seconds, is it returning to its spot there. And now we can load these in.
Fix-it freighter re-entry complete.
And send it away again.
Biofuel will ensure maximum efficiency of biomass burners. To aid in biofuel production, you are now capable of removing foliage that consists primarily of wood. Additionally, R&D inflated your pocket dimension.
R&D inflated my pocket dimension. That just sounds a little dangerous. Alright, but I want the chainsaw. So we're going to come over here and see what I need. I need screws. Alright. Thought I had some screws, but that's okay. We'll make a few here. Probably make like one stack of 500 or so. Or I don't know. This might take a little too long. How many was it? Was it 80 or? Let's get 80 and then see if that's enough. No, 160. And then we may need something else as well. We'll see. But what we want to do is set up more power, because more power allows us to make more machines. Right now, power is our hamper. I have as many machines down as I can keep powered. So I want to get more of those. And 200 is more than enough. I want to get more of the biomass. What are they called? Hold on. Yeah, biomass burners. Okay. For some reason that sounded wrong to me. But now what we can do is make these lovely, wonderful foundations. Now I need to make a little bit of solid fuel because the chainsaw only runs on solid biofuel. I think you may be able to use fuel later on, like actual oil-based fuel later on. Can't remember. But for right now, we need solid biofuel. Just a little bit will do us for now. That's probably good. And then we can put that and that away. Now we need to swap it out. Here we go. Very nice. I love the sound. But now we can cut down trees. And it does an area. So you'll see it cut down a whole lot of stuff, not just the tree that I was doing. And this allows us to clear out room much more quickly. And get rid of obstacles we could not do before, like these trees. Now, I don't want to get rid of all of these trees. That one's not really necessary to get rid of. So let's see what's the next one, because I really want this pod just pretty much in the air. We'll go ahead with logistics. If I can afford to do it, I want to go ahead and do it now.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to increase the complexity and efficiency of your factory. We encourage you to consider more verticality when it comes to factory logistics to streamline short-range transportation. The productivity display will help you measure and improve the productivity of individual buildings to aid with optimization.
So now what I'm going to do is just set up an area right over here that is going to process biomass. So I want 2 storage containers that are going to hold leaves and wood, and those are going to dump into some constructors. So let's actually build this out a little bit more, because I want these two to go into some constructors. Now, I think I can get away with putting this right here. And I want to make it 90-degree turns. So if you come to where you get this blue line, and then you go back, I think it's 2, and place that, you get a nice 90-degree angle turn here to this point. And then when I put it into the machine, it'll also give you a nice 90-degree angle turn. If you don't, it does like a weird slanted and turn thing. And I'm sure that works, but I just think this looks neater, looks cleaner, looks better. Now I want this to take leaves and make biomass out of it. And then I want another one down over here that is going to take wood and make biomass from that. So we are going to put down second constructor just right next to that one. We're going to do the same little trick over here, I hope. Right, so there's the line. You go back 1, 2, and then you go from there in. This one will carry wood, so I'm going to say make biomass out of wood. Now I've already made an awful lot of biomass, so this is going to make 60 per minute, and this is going to make 300 per minute, which is just absurd. We're going to feed both of these into one constructor with our wonderful merger that we unlocked just a moment ago. Same thing, straight line, go back 1, 2, and then in. And we're going to come out of that. So all the solid biomass is going to run into this, and it will make solid biofuel. I can go ahead and toss a bunch in there. Now we need to power all of these things, so we're going to drop a power pole pretty much at each machine in some kind of neat fashion. So it connects right there. We're just going to come right behind where it connects, I hope. Yes. And I'll need one sort of right here. Trying to make this look neat. Somewhat uniform. Now, this is not going to require a whole lot of power to get started. Let's set down our... Let me come from this side, our storage container. This is going to be where all of the biomass, solid biofuel, excuse me, that comes out will get dumped. You see that weird angle that it does? That's why I like going back to and doing the 90s. I just feel like it looks better personally. Now to get all of this running, I only need one biomass burner right here, and I want to try and line it up with our container here. Now, if I connect that and throw a little bit of fuel into here, just take half of what I got, it's going to start running, and that's going to start producing some stuff. But what I need to do is I already have a ton of this, so much so I can't even carry it all. Let's put some of that back. I made a bunch of the, what is this called? Biomass, just regular biomass. And I'm going to feed that into the system right over here by dropping that down, putting a storage in. Floor too steep, I need another foundation there. Let's get up on top of this maybe. Perfect. What? Why did that build? I don't know why that built up in the air. What is that? Why are you doing that? Don't do that. I want you on the ground. Are we bumping into something? The tree possibly? I'm not sure. But just as long as it's done that. Alright. We're just gonna go with it because this isn't permanent. It's just because I've already handcrafted quite a lot of the biomass. So we're going to move all of that biomass. Here's some leaves and there's some wood. So I can have the whole system running. This one, oh hold on, I've already forgot. This one is wood, so the one on the right is wood. And then this one is leaves. Perfect. Now all of those are going to flow into this one constructor. It can handle 120 per minute, which is exactly what one of these belts can do. If I go here to logistics, oh, never mind, excuse me, this handles 60 minutes, so we're not even able to pump in enough. That's right, the Mark IIs are 120 a minute. Oh, and our pod came back. Why didn't y'all say anything about that? Here I am running around. Did I use those screws that I had earlier for this? That's probably what I did. So I'm going to need to make more screws. I need to run and grab some more of the copper wire, which I should have a whole lot of it over here. Because like I said, I let this run for a bit while I was, picking some leaves up, doing a little handcrafting. Oh yes, we have plenty. The only thing that I don't have being made already yet would be the screws and rods. I have plates being made. We're actually going to swap this around because I should have a lot of plates. So let's see, select recipe, iron rod. There you go. Because yes, I have a significant amount of plates over here already. Let's make a few more of these rods and then make some of those into screws so we can complete field research, because the MAM unlocks a lot of things for us. The MAM unlocks us being able to do to do actual research. What we've been doing are called milestones up to this point, turning in resources that go into space for milestones that unlock machines and upgrades for your character. But you can do that also through the MAM, which the MAM is for researching things found on the planet, not for the production line for space, but new and interesting things you find while planet side. I need to get these screws automated soon. This is slow. But I can sort of do it now. So that biomass that's being made over there, I need to get the tier 2 belts for very soon. So that's making fast enough, because right now it's just moving slow. It's only getting 60 biomass per minute, and it can run at full speed with 120, which is Mark II belts. Oh, that's enough there. Boom. Field research.
Milestone reached. The molecular analysis machine, referred to as the MAM, will allow R&D to provide new technologies, items, and buildings based on samples collected in the field. To ensure a greater chance of success during exploration, an upgraded tool belt has been provided, as well as an object scanner and beacons.
Alrighty then.
The object scanner requires calibration via the MAM to enable detection of specific objects.
Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is get the conveyor belt Mark II. But now we can make some changes over here. Specifically, I have the capability of dropping down another biomass burner, hooking it into its own power, and hooking that in, because what we're going to do is come over here and take a look at this. This is producing 120 per minute. We can only move 60 out, but this is only using 30. So I want to put on here a splitter and then set up another smelter. I'm going to need to add fuel to this. Let that run. And we can put down a second smelter just nearby. Where it's at really isn't too big of a deal. Encroaching on another's clearance. Hold on here. Got to do some fancy belt work because we were clipping into the corner of this one, because I didn't set this up originally with the idea to add more of these. Alright. Now, we can merge these back in here together. Oh, and you need power. Let's drop a power pole. Where can we connect? To there. My power network is a mess. And then we're going to do a merger. Oh, and also, if you hold down E, you can choose between splitter and merger, and a lot of similar items. So like the belts, you can go between the different tier belts when you unlock them. Power poles, there's a whole lot of things that you can go between tiers on with that, which is incredibly useful. So I'm going to want another constructor. This one is going to make the rods, and this one's going to go back to making plates. So I'm just going to hit select recipe, plates. We're going to dump the iron back in there. In fact, can we dump half of it in there and half of it in here? Give it some power. Now I'm going to want to do a conveyor splitter again to come into here. This is all a mess, but I need to get this stuff going so I have rods and plates being made for me. I'm tired of handcrafting things. Logistics Mark II is going to be really important. Let's see. Wow, so I'm just missing some rods. That won't take too long. So we need to clear out an area and organize this a little bit better, because it is going to drive me insane if we don't have that. So let's get that taken care of. Okay, so we've got a flat, clear area here right next to where we're mining our iron. And what I'm going to do is, we're getting 120 out of this thing. Okay, so I want to set up our little production area to handle the 120 that we're getting. So each of these smelters can do 30 at a time. And what I want to do is leave a little bit of room for me to walk on here right beside it. Then other than that, I'm going to just put each of these right next to one another. And we know that we can handle 4. Because you got 30, 60, 90, 120. Alright, so we're just going to set all of these to iron. And then I'm going to do an overflow system. It's a little bit less efficient than if I were to do a splitter, which takes in the 120 and puts it into 2 60s, and then 2 more splitters that then take both the 60s and turn them into the 2 30s each, so 4 30s. But that takes a little bit more resources, and I'm just gonna do a little something along the lines of this. I'll put a splitter in front of the first 3. 1, 2, and then 3. And so I know that I can do Mark 1 belts to each machine, because Mark 1 belts move 60 and these can only handle 30. Right? 1, 2 to go back and then make our 90. But between these, I need the Mark 2 belts that move 120. That way, you get the 30 to each of them. But what's going to happen is this one will get as much as it can take until it fills up, and then it'll back up the line, and then more of it will go down. So it's not necessarily the best, most efficient way to do this, but it's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to try and put these power poles at the corner of each of these machines, again, to try and keep it fairly simple, fairly neat and orderly. Make sure we're connecting to what I want to be connecting to. Okay. And I'm going to drop a power pole at this corner, which will be for connecting to other machines later on. So now what I need to do is say, alright, let's stop sending ore out over here. And I'm actually going to go ahead and rip these up and just dump that ore into a couple of these, the first 2, and that way we're setting up the overflow a little ahead of time. Now, my power setup over here is just weird and janky, so we need to start organizing this a little bit better. And what does this pole do? It's just connecting. All of this stuff is going to get ripped up, except for this pole will stay. We're going to hook back into the power system there to keep our miner happy. And then I need to get a conveyor belt going from the miner over to here. Might have been a better idea to turn the miner a little bit, but that's okay. We'll let it slide like this for now. This is going to send everything there, but we're not hooked up to the power that we're going to be using long term just yet. I think what I'm going to do is just snag from there. Now, that should, when they start running, that should definitely trip my power, I think. Yep. So we're going to temporarily drop another biomass burner. Nowhere in particular, just somewhere I can hook up quickly and toss more fuel in so that I don't lose power. What do we have in here? That can work for just a little bit while we figure out what we're going to do with our outputs here. So we have 30 per minute coming from each of these machines. We need to look at what we can do with that. And so if I say I'm going to put down, I'm just placing this to look at the recipe, this will handle exactly 30 per minute. And I think what I want to do is get 2 of these so I get 40 per minute iron plate. So let's see about, I'm probably going to combine these 2 together. So do a merger kind of in the middle of these 2. And hopefully I can connect. Yes, it's going to do a little bulge, but that's okay because 30 and 30 will make 60. And those 60, well, you know, I didn't really need the merger. I can just run them into 2 individual. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. 2 individual constructors. I just want to make sure that I leave myself a little bit of room. I guess I can expand. I was going to do kind of like a walkway right down through here. But if I offset this one, can I squeeze these in? I want to put that one in line. That one goes straight, but the next one doesn't go straight. That's okay. I want you to make plates. And I want you to make plates. And then I need to power y'all as well. So from there, we're going to come up to this corner of this machine. Power the machine. Do another one here at the corner. And so on and so forth. And then we're going to do the same thing. I want another pole at the corner here for connecting further machines up. You never want to run out of connections on there. So now I'm going to want to merge these 2 together. Merging the outputs. Leave myself just a little bit of room. And then we're going to put a storage container. Let's actually turn it. Put the container going out this way. I'm running out of room. I made my little platform and it's already not enough. It's exactly how this game works though. Alright. That will store my plates per minute. Now I need to grab, did I put that right in the way? It kind of looks like I did. Oh, I can really come in tight here, but I don't want to. It's gonna clip, but you know what? We just won't talk about it, okay? We're just not gonna talk about it. It's all good. So what I want to do here is a merger coming out towards me. Good, I was a little concerned that might have been too close. But now, that's another 60 per minute. Now what we need to do is figure out what we're going to do with this 60 per minute in the way of the rods. And I think I'm going to need 3 of these constructors. 1, 2, and 3. And the reason I think I need 3 is if I remember correctly, yes, they use 15 per. Actually, I need 4 of these, right? Because I'm getting 60 per minute. Yeah, so I need 4 of these. And of course, I misplaced it. Good news is when you deconstruct something, you get all of the resources back from it. There's a no loss whatsoever, which is wonderful. Alright, so all of those are going to make rods for us, and we're going to just split off again. We're going to use our overflow method just because it takes up less building area than other methods. This one is only 60 per minute, so there's no need for any of the Mark II belts, which is good. The Mark II belts are incredibly expensive at this point in the game. We haven't automated that system yet. But that should be sending those into each of these. Oh yes, no power. My favorite thing to hear. Or read. Just get our power poles going down through here. Oh, wait a minute here. What happened there? That used to be cable. I don't know how to change these hot bars. Is it shift 1? Shift 2? Interesting. Okay, well I'll just come here and choose it then. Somehow I've changed the number 2 button from power cables to conveyor lifts, and I'm not sure exactly how I did that. I'll figure it out in just a bit. But for right now, I'll just manually choose connections. There we go. That powers all of these, and that is again going to stress our power. I may have enough for this, may not. Let's go take a look. I can check right at any of these poles, honestly. I don't know why I ran over here. Yeah, we are getting really close to hitting another peak point where we won't be able to connect anymore. So we are going to put down another biomass burner. Now we're going to move these in just a minute. We're going to set up a more... Oh, wow, look at the fuel. I love it. I made this changed a little bit. So I set up one all by itself to handle our backlog of biomass. And then I have just these two that are processing our wood and leaves, making it there. And then they're combined on the other side to give me quite a lot, which is good. We'll top off all of our current biomass burners. I didn't realize I had put such a small amount into that one. There. If you click sort, it will stack items that are not stacked. But now we've got plenty of extra power again. And is this still running over here? That's crazy. I forgot all about this. Got to clean this up. And it's got a few, 60 something per, which is fine. They can keep running, doing their thing. Okay, so now I need some of these rods to be just rods, but I also need to make screws. And if we look at the recipe for screws, I can just toss one of these down. We need 10 per minute to make 40 per minute, but I think I'm going to want more than 40 per minute. So I think I could take 2 of these and store the rods. And then I think I can take 2 of these and make screws out of them. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to add some more foundations here. And we can build vertically, and I'll get into that eventually. But right now I just want a little setup here. We're going to do conveyor merger just kind of in the middle of these two. And this time I actually do want a merger. Can I get right down the middle of them? Perfect. Those two will be storing our rods. There we go. And then these, right, this is going to make 30 rods per minute. I can combine these two by putting down a merger in front of this one. And the reason I'm putting it in front of this one is important because, oh, that does that weird thing. Nope, 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 not okay. This is not okay. Encroaching on another's clearance. Wow. Silly. That means we're going to have to move this because I do not want that weird angle. That will bother me to no end. So I'm going to step out one more. What? I just can't win for losing right now. We're going to get it though. 2. There we go. So to make the screws, we're going to be taking 15 and 15, which is 30, and turning that into our screws. So if I take this and place it down like so, and then say screws, I only need 10. So if I've got 30, I need 3 of these. This is definitely going to be too close, isn't it? We're going to try and squeeze it in here. If I say splitter, I need input on that side for now. Then I need to rotate that input to that side. There we go. So this can all be Mark 1. Feeding these in. Need some power. Where am I going to snag power from? Right over here. Goodness. Not having these. Let's see if I press. There we go. 2. So you just press it while you're hovering over it. I figured it out. Super simple. Now, have I left myself enough room? I have not. So I'm going to have to do something a little bit different with my power poles. Where did we go? Losing it here. Alright. Screws. Screws. And then screws. Now the other side is going to be a little different because each of these are producing 40. So I need our mergers right here. Alright, let's turn it that way. One there. One in front of this machine. And then this has to be a Mark II. This can be a Mark 1. This one can be a Mark 1. No, don't you do this to me. I messed up, didn't I? Put it too close. Or did I? Yep, encroaching. You know what? This is all temporary. We're going to let it slide with that weird angle and just never look over here at all. Never. This one has to be the Mark II. Now that gives us screws, rods, and plates all functioning over here and looking great. Let's go ahead and drop down a lookout tower. What is that going to be under? Special organization? Maybe here it is. That way we can see how glorious everything looks from up here. Oh, we're looking good. Hold on, let's take this silly thing out of my hands. Look at that. So we have the early game materials automated and running. I think that's going to be it for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, feel free to hit that like button. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, consider subscribing to my channel. And I will see you all next time.